this is our THRASH presentation, and the three sites we went to are the Samsung Museum, the Almaty Temple, and the buildings in Central.
Okay, so our first stop was the Samsung Museum. In the 18th century, a Hakka or Kejia clan migrated from Bofan, Fujian to Hong Kong, and they were the Chan clan. As the Chan family grew, because if you guys remember about we learned about traditional Chinese family in the short story Family, where one family includes the leader of a family, and then there's the sons or daughters of the leaders and their families, and then it extends on. But the eldest son is the leader of one family. And then as the Chan family grew, the leader of the clan wanted to build a village, and today we know the site as the Samsung Museum. As you can see from these pictures, this Hakka walled village was built in a very traditional Chinese way. As you can tell in the first image, there's three sets of double doors that go through the middle of this very symmetrical structure. We visited the 4 period houses that were located in the center of the village thing, and there were also a bunch of side houses where extended family of the leader lived. Here we have a dining room. This is a bedroom, and you can see the baby cradle there. That's a kitchen, and that is a winnowing machine. The winnowing machine is used to separate good grain from bad grain. Besides having very traditional Chinese architecture, the Hakka people also believe in Taoism. They worship this Taoist priest named Huang Daxian, or in Cantonese I think it's Huang Daxian. The goals of their Taoist worship is 1, for the gods to bless the living, and 2, worshippers pray for the souls of people who have passed on, and they pray for their souls to either go to heaven or be reincarnated. Besides being Taoist, the Hakka people also have a lot of traditions and festivals unique to their own heritage. Here you can see, well, first of all, they have this dragon dance festival. This was filmed this year actually during the Mid-Autumn Festival in Causeway Bay, and if you guys ever go, you might have noticed this. But anyways, this is what the Hakka people consider their fire dragon. In contrast to the Chinese New Year dragons, this dragon is made from pearl straw, and there's incense sticks stuck all over it and lit. And so the story behind the fire dragon dance is, if you guys know of a place called Taifang in Hong Kong, it was once an ancient Hakka village. The village, hundreds of years ago, was hit by an awful plague, and to get rid of the plague, villagers constructed this fire dragon and paraded it around the village. Shortly after, the plague was gone from the village, and every year, nowadays, the Hakka have a 3-day dragon dance festival to celebrate. And if you guys noticed in the video earlier, there's these two like balls of incense that come before the dragon, and they're the pearls that the dragon has to follow. And
in addition to the dragon, the Hakka also believed in unicorns. They believed that a unicorn was like the divine animal, and it could ward off evil and bring good luck. So the unicorn dance is performed at like many festivals, along with the fire dragon, and it's believed to have the ability to like bring everyone in the community together. And although hundreds of years have passed and many Hakkas have left the villages, the Hakka still works hard to pass down its traditions.
it's a unicorn.
Those are the unicorns.
Chinese unicorn is different than Western unicorn. Cheating, yeah.
So next we went to the Yangmate temple, and so we took 1 MTR to get there. And when we went there, we noticed that the structure of the temple was very traditional Chinese. And so when we walked in, we saw people worshiping the different deities, and some people were ringing bells, and most of them were lighting candles. And we also saw incenses, spiral incenses hanging from the ceiling. So when we also realized that we could smell the burning incense, and there was a lot of gold and red color around the deities, and we learned that people went there because they either were going on a trip in the water for some reason. So there were also 2 other temples on the left and right of the main temple, and the 2 other temples were smaller, but the one on the right had many more people worshiping, but both temples had incenses.
So from there, we were completely drenched, and we were down to just 3 umbrellas, and we had to walk to the ferry. But it seemed to clear up just as we walked out of McDonald's. So apparently, whatever we ate, which was probably not good, fixed it. So we got to the ferry, and it was beautiful. And in the picture you'll see later, it was actually sunny, so it was a nice trip.
That doesn't look so well.
Well, in the picture later. Not the ferry. So then we got there, and it started to rain again. Just in time for the Chatter Garden. So our first stop was the Chatter Garden, and a lot of people know that Hong Kong is one of the few cities that actually allows national park land, like the Chatter Garden. But I'll have to say, I've been to many of them in Hong Kong, and the Chatter Garden would not be on my top 10 list. It was actually kind of a disappointment. It was mostly concrete, and there's a pool that was empty with people cleaning in hazmat suits. I was slightly disappointed with there. And then we went to the former legislative building. And due to the black rain, you can't go in. But there was a monument that we looked outside, and it was actually originally made for World War I. And I found that odd because Hong Kong didn't have any relations with World War I. So later I looked it up, and they actually changed it to a World War II monument in the 80s once Hong Kong gained its freedom, because there was a battle fought in Hong Kong later. From there we went to the HSBC building, which is right there. I'm sure you've all seen it. It's a big bank. And big bang. It's a big bank. It's a big building. It's a bank. But they actually have a lot of power in Hong Kong. Same with the Bank of China. You can tell because they're also on the currency. So yeah, next time you get change, you'll probably see the Big Bang somewhere on there. From there, we're going to go to the Bank of China, but they again closed it. There is an escalator that goes up, I think it's 50 floors, so that'd have been cool, but we couldn't do that, unfortunately.
So, in conclusion, we learned that Hong Kong has many hidden sites that contains most of its history, and we've been stuck in like a bubble, kind of. And we also learned that Hong Kong's really fast-paced, and everyone's moving along constantly. And that Central is like more modern than the rest of Hong Kong. And we learned to take the MTR over the buses in Hong Kong because when we took the bus, it took a really long time, and we were ahead of schedule, and we got to our next site late because of the bus. And Hong Kong also has like a complex and interesting history that not many people know about. So yeah, Hong Kong's more than we know. And for like the collaboration of our group, we mostly worked well together. Like, our opinions didn't really clash. The problems were like kind of time management because me and Peter were late to the first stop. We actually had to leave without Peter.
For the record, I arrived at the same time as Miss, I forgot what her name was, but the first.
Yeah, whatever her name was. Got it. Yeah, got it.
And we also had a hard time because I didn't bring an umbrella. I kind of had to share with Peter.
Oh, that's sweet.
It was a good time.
Can't even.
This is our picture when it was sunny for the first time.
And the only time. That may have been about the only 5 minutes.
10 minutes.
How come Mocho and Peter are wearing the same thing today? Did you just Photoshop that together now?
What?
No.
Okay.
I was about to say that's a really good Photoshop.
I don't even know how to use Photoshop.
Okay.
Maybe it's income.
All right. Wow.
See, Mr. Kristen wasn't at fault.
That was, I don't know, that was good. I gave examples and